Hey, welcome back to the Lady Wealth Warrior channel. So this video is going to be kind of raw, kind of real, unscripted. I do have a couple of notes just so that I stay on task because I tend to ramble. But I want to give you, I guess, a real life inside look into making money online. There are so many people right now that are changing their lives with building their own businesses online. And it's truly freeing. It's not so much about the money as it is about the freedom to be able to do what you want, when you want, however you want, for as long as you want, like without having to ask for permission to go on vacation. And it's just been changing so many people's lives. But there are so many people out here online that they're just not, they don't have your best interest at heart. So I want to kind of explain to you, kind of pull back the curtain and explain to you what it really takes to make money online. And you can absolutely do it. Anybody can absolutely make money online. So if you're a woman over 50, you're still working a 9 to 5, and you're ready to stop. You're ready to retire, like now. I want to retire now rather than later. But you know you don't have enough money in order to retire now. So I'm hoping that this video will give you the inspiration that you need to go ahead and get started. I'm going to tell you exactly what it takes to make money online. All right? Simple steps. So there's no script here. I just have a couple of notes just to keep me on task. But I created something called the perfect framework. And I used to talk about this all the time on my lives, just explaining what it takes to make money online. So, but let's be real. Starting a business over 50 isn't about chasing trends. And that's what a lot of us think this is, that we have to chase the newest shiny thing in order to make money. And that could not be the furthest thing from the truth. It's about building freedom, all right? But it is going to take clarity, consistency, and a little bit of courage, okay? So I want to tell you a little bit about my story. So I grew up in the Army. I served in the United States Army for 33 years, and I retired at the age of 50. I retired because I was ready for something more. It was my time. I was starting to learn the online business world, and I got really, really excited. So I put in my paperwork. It took me an entire year to retire, and I was just learning. So that's the first step. You have to learn the skills, right? You don't go to college and learn how to be a nurse and you're done in a week, right? It takes time to learn the skill. And then even though you've gone to school and you're book smart now, you still need that hands-on training, right? So keep that in mind as we're going through this, all right? But I started in this online space in the affiliate marketing space. Affiliate marketing is promoting other people's products for a commission. So I didn't have to create anything. I just purchased a program and I said, wow, I really like this. I'm going to recommend this to other people. And then I started selling someone else's product. So affiliate marketing is how I got my start. Once I made that very first dollar online, everything shifted for me. I mean, everything, because now I knew it was possible. And the second thing I knew was that I was capable of doing it. So I want to be able to give you that mindset shift so you can make your first dollar online and everything will change from that point forward. But I was selling other people's products. The second person's product that I was selling, he made some changes to it, and it was harder for me to sell it. But it wasn't my program, so who am I to tell him what to do with his program? So I learned I had to go create my own products because I didn't have any control over the product. Whether they added to it, took away from it, changed the price of it, I didn't have any say. So I knew I had to make my own products. That's when I found the Master Resale Rights, and I actually created my own Master Resale Rights course. I downloaded someone else's videos, uploaded it to a platform of my own choice, started adding in my own knowledge to it. So I did not create a course from scratch, which was pretty great, which gave me a little bit of a head start. And then a year had gone past and I wanted more for my members and my audience. So I created my own course, another version, if you will. I didn't call it a 2.0 or anything, just another version of it, but it had all organic, my material. So the original creators' videos that I had in there, I took them out and everything was mine. Okay. So after going through that whole process, I learned that more is not always better. Okay. People were extremely overwhelmed by a 70 module course or a 370 video course. It was too much information. So I started getting into low ticket digital products, and that brings me to here. And I want to just take the knowledge that I have in my brain and create videos to help you learn how to do this for free. Okay. So you can find all kinds of videos here on my channel, but let's jump in to the perfect framework. Remember, I told you there was no script for this one. All right. So the first letter in the perfect framework is P, perfect. Okay. P, product. You have to pick a product or service. In order to make money online or offline, you have to sell something. Okay. So whether that's a physical product, whether that's a coaching service, interior design service, doesn't matter, babysitting services, doesn't matter what kind of service, or a digital product. You could sell ebooks, templates, things like that. So you have to figure out what kind of product are you going to promote, but choose one thing to solve one problem. And that's what I realized I did wrong with my big giant course. I was trying to solve all of their problems. And that's not the right way to do it. You want to pick one problem and pick a product or build a product to solve that one problem. All right. Don't overcomplicate this. One problem. Okay. Then you want to build a product around that. The R in perfect. So we're going to skip the E, PR. So the R in perfect is research. Now you need to figure out, are people spending money to learn this skill? Are people spending money to solve that problem? Do people want this thing? Are there other creators out there selling the same or similar things? Don't overcomplicate this either, all right? You have to listen to what people already want, okay? Don't go creating problems. Go ahead and solve the ones that people already have, all right? Their questions are your clues. So if you just did a simple search on Google, for example, how to make money online, maybe how to make money in my 50s, how do I retire from my job? What is someone searching on Google to solve their problem? And that's going to be your first clue. Then you've got the F in perfect, funnel. Okay. You need a way for people to pay you money. Bottom line, they've got to be able to send you money. Now, you don't want to be sending them your PayPal email address or, hey, hit me up on Venmo or Cash App. That turns it into a manual process. You want an automated process for people to spend money. So when they see your website or funnel is a fancy word for website. Okay. A funnel, you still have a website URL. So when somebody comes to your funnel or website, you want them to look at your product, say, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's going to solve my problem. Here, take my money. And you want that funnel to be working 24/7. But this needs to be simple. You don't need any kind of fancy software. You can start with something as simple as Gumroad, Standstore, Linktree, Milkshake, System.io. Go High Level is a platform that I use. It is a little bit more advanced, but it does everything. And here's what I'm going to tell you. When I first started, I tried tons of different software. And once I got to the Go High Level platform and realized all the things that it could do, I had to move all of my stuff, and I moved my stuff multiple times. All of my funnels, all of my websites, all of my contact records. I had to move them over and over and over again to get to where I'm at right now. So if you don't have a whole lot of money to invest, then you don't need it right away. But my suggestion is just get started where you're going to stay. So I get it. You're going to test this out. Let me see if this works and then move. And that's totally, totally fine. There are plenty of free tools out there. Okay. So if you're looking for a free funnel builder or a way for people to pay you money and it's not going to cost you any money, go ahead and drop funnel down below in the comments and I will go ahead and send you one of my favorite softwares. And all these links I'm going to have in my description so you can certainly check them all out. Then the C in perfect, in the perfect framework, is content strategy. You can't just post just to post. You have to have a strategy. Now, again, don't overcomplicate this. It could be as simple as, well, I'm going to use Facebook and Instagram as my primary platforms. You should have two, focusing on one with a second one as your backup. Because again, you don't want to put all your eggs into one basket just in case, heavens to bid, one of them it fails. You can't have all your eggs in one basket. So if you had, say, Facebook and Instagram, you would figure out, okay, I'm going to post once a day on Facebook and 3 times a week on Instagram. And that's your strategy. And then you start figuring out, okay, what am I going to post, right? What are my content pillars? What are you all about? What are you going to talk to your audience about? Okay. But you need to be posting with purpose. Your content is your salesperson on autopilot. Think of it like that. So you've got to have that strategy before you actually start posting. Okay. And then of course the T is traffic. You need to drive traffic to your funnel, your website, your link, right? Don't wait for people to find you. Go where they're hanging out. If they hang out in Facebook groups, go to those Facebook groups. If they're hanging out on Reddit, go to Reddit. If they're hanging out on Quora, go to Quora. You have to go where your people are. Okay. You may think, okay, well, Instagram is a new in thing or TikTok is a new in thing, but all of your audience, like mine, over 50, most over 50 people have a Facebook account. And that's where they spend a lot of their time because that was one of the first social platforms after MySpace. It was one of the first social platforms that a lot of people my age, that's where they tend to hang out a lot and spend more because it's easy to use in comparison to Instagram, in comparison to TikTok. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still people over 50 on both of those platforms, but you have to go where the majority of your people are hanging out. So you've got to go find them. Where are they already hanging out? If you're helping single moms, then I'm sure there's single mom Facebook groups out there or school communities. Go to where they're hanging out and provide real help and support. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you. It does not need to be perfect. We all get wrapped up in, I got to wait until my funnel is perfect. I got to wait until my product is perfect. And here's what I'm going to tell you. No, you don't. Don't wait for it to be perfect because you'll be waiting forever. I promise. It does not need to be perfect. As you are going along and your audience is telling you, hey, I really love your stuff, but I wish it had this. You can go ahead and put that in there, create that thing, because now you're listening to what your audience actually wants. All right. But a simple, repeatable foundation that works, whether you're selling cookies, courses, or coaching, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be repeatable and simple. Okay. So don't overcomplicate this. So let's review real quick. Pick a product, build a funnel. And I did forget emails. I did forget the E in imperfect. Oh my goodness. So emails, okay? Pick a product, build a funnel, build an email sequence. Now the email sequence is going to be when somebody purchases, you need to automatically send them an email saying, congratulations on your purchase. Here's your thing. Or here's access to your course. Or here's access to my calendar to book your coaching call. You need to give them an email, and that should be done on autopilot. Now you are going to have a bunch of people, more so than not, go through your funnel and not make a purchase. Now you need to make sure that you're following up with those people that give you their email address, but they don't buy anything. You've got to follow up with them and tell them why they should buy. And that's where the messaging and the copy comes in very, very handy. So 2 sets of email sequences you need in the beginning. So pick a product, build a funnel, build an email sequence to follow up with people that go through your funnel that don't buy your product, create a content strategy, and then drive traffic. So those are your 6 steps, right? Pick a product, build a funnel, build an email sequence, create a content strategy, drive traffic. So 5 steps. It's that simple. It does not matter what your product is. You are going to need to do that with every single product. So for example, let's say you create a little ebook, right? Well, you're going to need to build a funnel. You're going to need to build that ebook, build a funnel for that ebook, build an email sequence to deliver that ebook. Let's say it's a freebie, right? Then you're going to need to create a content strategy to talk about your freebie and then drive traffic, getting people in to purchase, to grab your freebie in exchange for an email address. So the process is the same, whether it's free or paid, whether it's coaching, a service, or a physical product, the process is the same for everything. And that's, I wish somebody would have told that to me a long time ago, because I spent so much time wasted on this funnel building stuff. And I got a complicated software in the beginning, and I spent a lot of time trying to perfect that and wasted a lot of time. I didn't realize I needed to also have emails, and I needed to also build a content strategy, and I also needed to create content to drive traffic. I wish somebody would have told me that. So I just wanted to make this raw and real video for you so that you can't ever say, No one ever told me that. I just broke it down for you, Barney style here, okay? So that you can get started with whatever it is that you want to sell or give away for free. So if you're creating a lead magnet and you're like, okay, I've got this lead magnet, what do I do with it now? Build a funnel, build an email sequence, create a content strategy, drive traffic. That's it, okay? That's what you do. Hey, I just created this awesome course. What do I do now? Okay, well, first with a course, you'll have to create a course area, right? But build a funnel, build an email sequence, create a content strategy, drive traffic. And that's really all it is in a nutshell, okay? So if you want to dive deep and learn more about this, my digital coaching club is the best place to start. And you have weekly coaching calls with me to help you and answer your questions for your business, no matter what that business may be. So if you haven't gotten started yet, go ahead and comment the word ready. All right, and I'll send you over some information so you can get started. I hope this video was helpful. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification so you get notified every time I release a new episode. I'm here to make your online business less overwhelming. So hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. If you want to continue learning and growing together, watch this video that's coming up next, and I will see you over there.